In 2017, ex-Sixer Nick Stauskas did an interview with The Score. He stated in that interview that it was time for the process to be over and it's time that they start winning games and competing. Now, truth be told, in 2022, the team looks like a couple years behind that timetable, which isn't too bad because sometimes our plans don't work out the way we want. However, they are built the best that we've seen since the Jimmy Butler era. The 76ers are coming off an impressive offseason where they worked to buff their depth. Daryl Morey brought back James Harden on a team-friendly deal, along with bringing some familiar Rocket teammates. On draft night, they traded for De'Anthony Melton, who is a reliable shooter and good perimeter defender, and he was a valuable bench piece for the Grizzlies' run in the West last year. And not only is he younger than Danny Green, but he is also more productive than Danny Green, especially a Danny Green coming off of an ACL and MCL tear. The 76ers did what most teams can't really do very well very quickly, and that's replacing veteran leadership while also bringing in a skillful player. Now, in my opinion, I believe they already had enough leadership at the top. You know, they have Embiid, they have Harden, they just signed PJ Tucker, and they already had Tobias Harris. The young legs, I believe, will make the biggest difference on the offensive end, if anything else. PJ Tucker is the most notable addition to the team coming from Miami, and with PJ Tucker, he's kind of like Draymond Green, where what he adds to your team goes way past the stat sheet. PJ Tucker is the kind of guy that leaves an imprint on the identity of the team, and that identity is displayed on the floor each and every night, especially come playoff time. PJ's toughness has always been present in the whole team's approach to the game, and Philly will be no different. PJ has led the league in corner threes the past 2 seasons, and we already know the grit he brings to the defensive side of the ball. PJ was added in part of Harden's willingness to take less money, but mainly to build a championship roster. But it goes without saying, PJ obviously does not move the pendulum closer by himself with regards to this being a championship team. But his connection with Harden and Morey played a huge role in him getting to this team. Tuck is 37, coming off of one of his better seasons where he had his highest point average since being in Phoenix back in 2015. He shot a career high 42% from 3, and he's another addition that I believe could really take this team over the top. Another addition that contributes to the 76ers title hopes is Daniel House Jr. He's most likely here again because of the ties to Harden and Morey in Houston, just like PJ Tucker. House struggled to find a consistent role last year as he played for 3 separate teams. He played 16 games for Houston. He played 3 minutes, not games, minutes for the Knicks, and finally he got to show a little bit what he could do in Utah towards the end of the season, where he averaged 7 points per game. By far his most productive seasons were in Houston when Harden was there, where he shot a career high in 3-point percentage in the 2018 and 2019 campaign. He averaged a career high 11 in the next year, and much like PJ Tucker, it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of role he played. Now, Daniel House Jr., he's proven to be a productive role player, and if he can find that same form from 2 years ago, the Sixers have an excellent complementary player. Of course, we all know Philly is far from the only team to have made major improvements this offseason. Despite having a beautiful roster on paper, this team, they still have stiff competition going forward, especially in the East. Now, where I think this team would, benefit the most, if you move Harden to the PG role, and this might be a hot take, ring the alarms, whatever you want to do, this might be a hot take, but I truly believe Tyrese Maxey will average more than James Harden. This is the season Tyrese Maxey will come into his own offensively with regards to him shooting and taking reasonable jump shots and them going in. To me, it would be cool to see the more aged Harden move into the PG role, just as they kind of tried to do with the Nets. The Nets did have something on their hands, but they fumbled it with the Kyrie situation and all that. If you move Harden to the PG and Tyrese Maxey to the 2, and if we're being honest, without really paying attention to it game swept under our noses, whatever you want to call it. Harden took the Nets project, brought it to Philly, and I think they're about to make some noise. Now today, we all know KD is staying as a Brooklyn Net. I don't know how that fares for Kyrie, but truth be told, it don't matter what it is with Kyrie. They need to figure out that team as a whole. The 2 teams that are a problem for the 76ers are the Bucks, and then you also have the Heat. Now, another team that I believe could truly beat them if they really honed in and they developed the way I think they can, see my video regarding them, are the Hawks. The Hawks are the X Factor team where they're the only other team besides the top two that could beat Philly. So with that being said, I do believe Philly will be in the top 3 in the East. I believe they're gonna be a contender this whole year, and I think they're winning well above 50 games. They might even get to 55. If they get to 55, I believe they will get the 2nd seed at minimum. Now, with regards to this team's roles and everything, I believe Harden will only score when needed, and I have faith that if he's healthy, he has the opportunity to truly lead this team to the finals. Embiid is obviously frustrated after losing MVP yet again, and I think he's gonna come back better than ever. And though he may not win the MVP this year, he may not, you never know. But if he don't, he might just win a title in place of it. And I'm sure he would trade that MVP for a title any day. I think this team is a very good team with a lot of young guys that are excited to play ball with the team and a lot of vets that still have something to prove at the end of the day. I think those two come together, the fire stays lit under their ass all season long, and they do some special things. Now, the floor that I have, because I did already speak to their ceiling, the floor for the Sixers, that's technically the 2 seed. I do see them being the 1 seed going into the playoffs, and I do see them carrying that 1 seed into the finals. Now, I've never been the biggest fan of the Philadelphia 76ers. The only time I really cared or really liked the team, I guess, was when AI was there, but even still, I was very young, and I was a Laker fan no matter what. But I will say, this team has one of the most well-constructed rosters in the league, and if they could bring it all together, they could potentially win the 2023 NBA championship. And it might not be a potential thing. That might be my pick for this year. And I don't know if I'm gonna stand on that because I do have a predictions video coming for you guys. A bit early predictions video, but it is what it is. And if you found yourself at the end of the video right now and you like the video and you like me in the video, obviously, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. Come on, gang, you already know what to do. Hit that notification bell if you haven't already. It's your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube, and I'm out. Peace.